of course, now that I get that all buttoned up and fixed, went to raise the car just because I dropped the wrench and I was trying to fish it out. So I decided to raise the car, and guess what I find? A new leak, and that is coolant. So I can't win with this car. I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, as long as it's not smoking, I guess it's okay. Then I can attribute it to something mechanical that I can replace, like a hose, or, well, I guess it would be mechanical regardless, but you know what I mean. But trying to figure out where this is. Let me put a light in here. Seems like it's dripping right down the oil pan and right from there. Oh shoot, I hope it's not the water pump. Or is that the hose that's just not clamped tight enough? Hopefully that's it, but I'm gonna have to jack this thing up and get it on high so that I can get underneath and get a better look. So, okay, I got the car up, but it may not be the bottoms that I need to be looking at. So it could be worse than I thought. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you see all that green stuff behind the, I don't know if you guys maybe, so you know what, let me see if I can, maybe that's better. I don't know if you guys can see that. All that green. There's on the coolant pipes, on the hard lines, if you guys have seen that. And then right on this bracket, you guys can see all that green splash, and you got some green on the intake manifold. Yeah, so this might be worse than I thought. So where that coolant is popping off from, but you know what though, is, I wonder if it's the AC. Is the refrigerant, does it come out? Because if I look at my coolant level, it's fine. So not quite sure if it's if that hose just needs tightening and that's where it's spewing from. Hoping it's not the water pump, but it's coming from the water pump area. So, oh wait a second. Oh no, that's from me just opening up the cap. Is it? No, because if it was coming from here, it would be splattering here and the hood. So that was me from opening the cap, but this is not looking good. That water pump was torqued to spec, and I see some fluid underneath there. And if it's coming up top, I'm just hoping it's that hose. So if I maybe need to, that hose right there. So maybe see if I can just tighten that a bit and see if that'll do it. But why would it be here? Or am I seeing things? Is that green? It's awfully thick to be coolant. It's way too green, but I'm gonna go just tighten up that hose and see if it comes back, and just monitor the coolant level. So I will be driving around this week once I get that wrench out and monitor the coolant level. I mean, it's not substantial enough that it leaks on the ground until today, and all I did was really move it from the street out to here, and I'll go check to see if there's any leakage there, but crap. Okay, I'll clean it up and just drive around and see whether or not it comes back on. I'll monitor my temperature. Again, torque issues, reared its ugly head again. So I'm pretty sure that's the issue, because let me see if I can get the camera there much closer. So this right here, let me get better lighting there. Okay, so this screw, if you notice, it's very, I'm doing this with my fingertips, so it wasn't torqued, or I forgot to torque it down. So I'm going to assume that this is where the leak is coming from. So I'm gonna go tighten it up, and hopefully the issue goes away. So, found the wrench. But one of the things I'm kind of questioning is, for those of you, started to wipe down some of the stuff that I thought might have been coolant, but it might not be coolant at all. I mean, is the refrigerant comes out as green? Because this kind of looks like it's highlighted yellow. Looks too thick to be coolant, and too, you know what, let me see if I can compare with the coolant that I use. Because it's too like fluorescently yellow. If I can compare it. Ooh. So I don't know. Is for you guys, that's coolant, although that is wet, and this is the one that came off of the stuff that I wiped. It's more yellowish and fluorescent versus this being completely green. So is that refrigerant? And I was hearing the compressor really loud yesterday when I was running the AC. Every time it turned on, it went psh, psh, almost like a blow-off valve. So I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna Google that. But the difference is too significant for me to kind of just, I'll let this cool and dry. But this is way too fluorescent yellow than coolant. See the difference? I don't know if you guys can see it, but I don't know. Green versus yellow. And when I put the light on it, when I was wiping it down, it was glowing. So, I don't know. Collected a lot of bugs last night, so usually hate it when I got a brand new intercooler. Probably better than Stones though. Okay guys, it is Wednesday evening, or should I say Thursday morning, because it's about 1 o'clock. The STI is not in its usual spot because it's sitting outside with the Evo in the driveway. I need an early start tomorrow to get over to Brian at Wimmers to get the rear camber adjusted. Well, I should just say get it aligned because of the trip that I have to get the STI dynoed on Friday. I don't want to make another long trip with that setup to reduce the tire wear and possible damage to the diff because of the fact that one is carrying a lot more camber than the other, and it might have some toe on the opposite end as well. So I need to get it aligned before I do another trip to New Jersey. So, and also the reason why it's outside is because as you guys can see, the garage door is still busted. I'm eventually going to grab a side mount that attached to the rollers. It's supposed to be quiet and has Wi-Fi, so and you could open and close the garage door with an app, and helps me eliminate the middle rail and that motor, so it clears up that space, makes the garage a lot simpler. So one of the reasons too that I wanted to note on this post is the fact that I just went ahead and transferred the oil that I took out on the 500-mile mark and transferred it into a container. And I noted that on the bottom of the pan, there's no particles and there's no metal shavings, so that's all good. Anyway, so I'll try and capture as much as I can for the session, alignment session for tomorrow, and definitely the following day, which is a dyno session. I'm gonna try and capture as much as I can out of that, and I'm really not gonna go towards big power. I sort of kind of wane towards the idea of getting as much as I can out of the setup because I'm at a point now where I just want it to be reliable, and because I'm going to be using it as a daily. So I'm not looking to detune it to a point where it doesn't really take advantage of the setup that I have, but at the same time I don't want to go too much to stress it. So anyway, all right, so I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Like I said, I'll post as much as I can and capture as much as I can with both the dyno and the alignment session. All right, I'll see you guys. So it's Thursday morning. We're heading over to Brian. You guys can hear the shifters making a whole lot of noise. That could be a shifter bushing that's bad. She's pretty sloppy. But anyway, okay, hopefully we can get the adjustment that we need. I'm thinking 2.5 on the front, and if we can get 1.5 in the rear, that'd be awesome. 0 toe. Okay, we are over at Brian's. We made it okay. One thing to note is that this morning I checked underneath and I did still see some residual. I'm hoping it's residual oil, the neon yellow oil behind the oil pan. Nothing up top like before, or nothing in front. Hopefully it's just residual, and the light didn't come on, nothing, no check engine light, so I'm hoping it'll eventually just go away. I'm not losing any coolant, I'm not smoking, so I'm thinking it's just residual, and I'm pretty sure it's AC oil compressor oil. But anyway, just kind of wanted to show you the kind of cars that's here today. We got a Hummer. So looks like we also have a Land Rover here. I thought it was an FJ or a Land Cruiser at first, but it is a Land Rover. Looks pretty nice. Kind of like one of the things that I've always wanted to get was a Land Cruiser that's similar to this style. So maybe one day. This looks like it's clean, but it does have some rust, but otherwise looks good. We got this thing here. It's a Fiat. Pretty cool. That's another Fiat. I think it's pretty tiny. Looks like Brian's working on his Z. So it's odd, but she had a hard time starting after I pulled in, and he was trying to get it in out of the rack and try to start it, but it just didn't work. So I had to reset the ECU and get it going. Hopefully it starts right back up when he's done. Okay guys, I am back home. She's not aligned because I need a lower control arm that's adjustable, and I'm most likely gonna have to see if I can find one that's light and beefy. That'll also provide for toe adjustment. So I'm gonna be making the trek tomorrow, and she's gonna be on the dyno with a negative camber on the driver's side rear. You guys saw the difference. It's pretty substantial. So hoping that it's not going to reduce what I can get on the dyno, and also more importantly, not to damage the all-wheel drive system on that 300-mile plus drive to and from shop. So yeah, and Brian also confirmed that oil, or that neon yellow, is most likely also due to compressor oil leaking. So tomorrow's footage is going to be on the dyno session and my trip there.